All right, here we are, take two. Let's see if this works this time. Hello, hello, welcome. Can you hear me now? The big question. Okay, I just got a text that you can hear me. I think you can see me. That means we're ready to roll. So sorry about that. Tech difficulties. We troubleshooted, or we set this up 2 hours ago, and it worked then, but such is life in this digital age, isn't it? Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here, for bearing with us. Amazing. Rolling with the punches. That is what yoga is for, right? All right, we'll still get a nice practice in here. So, all right, great. So, I guess you missed my beginning spiel. So I'll just say it again. Thank you all for joining me. My name's Ari. This is my second time leading a Friday Unwind session on YouTube. In case anyone is new to this, either joining us live or watching the recording, Hands to Heart Center Yoga for the People is a nonprofit organization that shares the healing power of yoga with people affected by addiction, poverty, and trauma in the greater Boston area. And so on behalf of Hands to Heart Center, I want to thank the Boston Public Libraries for partnering with us on this virtual project. And thank you to HTHC. It's always a pleasure to volunteer with the organization. So we are going to get right into it. If you have any requests for those joining live right now, feel free to drop them into the chat. If you're just joining us, sorry about the delay. Thank you for being here. Anything you'd like to stretch, any body parts you'd like to move tonight, just go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll check in on it from time to time. And a couple quick reminders before we get into it. Yoga is always your practice, right? So I'm here to be a guide, but everything that I offer throughout our time together is an invitation. And you should always do what feels right in your body, in a particular moment. And the great news is that with this format, nobody else can see you. So you can do exactly what you want. And I will offer variations on shapes and movements as we go for different bodies. All right, so let's begin in a seated position, a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. It could be a little different. For me, that means crossed legs. And bring your hands somewhere comfortable on your body. So that might be palms face up or face down on your knees, maybe resting in your lap. Or to really ground you, you might even bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. And start to slow down your breathing. If it feels comfortable to you, you might let your eyes flutter closed, or just let your gaze soften to a point a few feet in front of you on the floor. Letting those big breaths fill your chest and belly, and then slowly exhaling them out. And as you keep this breath going, keep it moving at your own pace, but make it a slow pace. Start to feel a sensation of lifting on each inhale. Feel your spine lengthening, the crown of your head reaching toward the ceiling. And then as you exhale, try to consciously relax your shoulders, moving your shoulder blades down your back. So there's almost a little bit of this push-pull motion there, right? Because as we inhale, as we lift and lengthen our spine, you might feel this lift in your shoulders, this clenching or tightening. So the invitation is to keep that length in your spine and that lift while you relax the muscles of your shoulders and back. Inhaling to lift up. You might even squeeze your shoulders up deliberately to get a little higher, and then exhaling to roll them down your back. So just keep that breathing going for a moment. Maybe a little bit of motion as you move through, lifting on the inhales, softening on the exhales. This class series is called Friday Unwind. And I want to invite you, if you joined today or whenever you're tuning in, to really take the opportunity to unwind. You might imagine whatever sort of stress you're carrying with you, whatever baggage, physical, emotional, spiritual from the week, and imagine just putting it in the corner for now. We're not pretending it doesn't exist. We're not ignoring it forever, but just imagine kind of putting it into a bag and putting it in the corner of the room and saying, I can pick you back up if I need you in an hour. Deep breath in and a slow breath out. All right, we'll bring a little more motion into it. So on your next inhale, sweep both arms up, reach tall overhead. And then as you exhale, twist open to the right. So plant your right hand on the ground behind you and bring your left hand to your right knee. Take a deep breath in and feel your spine growing a little taller. And as you exhale, can you deepen just a tiny bit more into that twist? Inhale here again, grow tall. And exhale, slowly release back to center. Maybe you shake it out a little bit. Inhale, sweep both arms up again. And exhale, twist open to the left, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you to brace you. Take that deep breath in, feel the crown of your head lifting. And exhale into that twist. Another big inhale, grows you tall. And exhale, we come back to center. Now bring your hands to your knees if they're not there already. And as you take a deep breath in, pull back gently on your knees to reach your chest through and lift your heart up toward the ceiling. You might have this sensation of a slight back bend here as your shoulder blades pull together. And then as you exhale, push your knees away, again very gently, and round your spine, bringing your chin toward your chest. Inhale for that seated cow shape. And exhale for a seated cat. Inhale, cow, heart reaches through. Exhale, cat, chin to chest. Keep moving through that at your own pace. Depending on your body, it might feel good to pick up the pace a little bit. Or you might enjoy just those deep, luscious breaths, waking up the muscles in your body, exploring some different movements from however you've spent the day using your muscles up until now. And we'll take one more deep breath in, one more cow together. And one more cat. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up high overhead. And then as you exhale, start to hinge forward at your hips with a flat back, reaching forward, your fingertips away from you, until you can't hinge forward anymore. And the depth here will look really different for different bodies. When you can't reach any farther, allow your hands to come and rest on the ground. Take another deep breath in here with a flat back, a slight sensation of lifting. And then as you exhale, fold over completely. Again, this will look really different for different bodies. If you're just sort of sitting in a seated shape, that's totally great. Let your chin reach for your chest. Your hands might be resting on the ground, maybe your forearms and elbows, depending on your body. And again, tap into your breath here. Feeling your belly fill into your lap on each inhale. And feeling your head and neck relax completely, reaching toward the ground on each exhale. And just noticing the soft motion that comes into your body as you breathe. That slight lifting, that expansion on every inhale. And that little bit of contraction, maybe that sense of lowering as you exhale. We're here for 3 more breaths. Take them at your own pace. Slowly start to make your way out of that forward fold. You might gently walk your hands back toward your body as you come out of the shape. And then we'll meet in a tabletop. So come on to hands and knees. And take a second to set up this shape really strong here. So spread your fingers wide. Bring the palms of your hands directly under your shoulders. And as you press into the ground, notice the arch that makes from one wrist all the way up through your chest, down the other arm, into the other wrist. An arch is one of the strongest shapes there is in architecture, and that's true when we build it out of our own bodies as well. So feel the muscular engagement there. And then check in with your knees. Bring them directly under your hips. And to complete the strength of this shape, engage your abdominal muscles. Pull your low belly up toward your spine. And if someone were looking at you, they might not see anything different, especially if your shirt is hanging down. But you'll feel that sense of engagement, that sense that this is a sturdy shape, that you're holding yourself up, the ground is supporting you. And take a deep breath in here and let it out. On your next inhale, come into that cow shape. Drop your belly, lift your head. And exhale, cat, round your spine. Inhale, cow again. And this time as you exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, and meet me in downward facing dog. Now, the first downward facing dog of any practice can always feel like a pretty big shape, so just get into that for a moment. Feel the stretch through your chest, through your core. You might pedal your feet out side to side. You might take a deep breath in and lift your heels up high. And then as you exhale, lower them toward the ground, reaching your chest back toward your thighs to create that feeling of elongating. Take another deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, start to walk your feet toward your hands, nice and slow, and your hands might come up off the ground. That's fine. And come into a forward fold. Bring opposite hand to each elbow for ragdoll and let your head hang really heavy here. You might play here with the bend in your knees, noticing how a big bend in the knees can allow your belly to rest on your thighs, which might help create a sort of easeful sense of opening in your back and spine. Or you might straighten your legs completely and notice the stretch that brings into your calves and hamstrings. So it's all about what you're looking for in this moment, where you want to feel sensation. And of course, you always have the option to move through different options, bending, straightening, matching motion to that slow breathing that you can always return to. Take another deep breath in here. And then exhale, release your hands, fold over completely. And then slowly start to roll your way up to a standing mountain pose, Tadasana. So here we are in Tadasana, mountain pose. A mountain is a strong shape. Take a moment to feel really strong here, pressing your feet into the ground. You might shrug your shoulders up toward your ears and then roll them down your back. Deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, sweep both arms up high overhead. And I know you can't see my hands because of the webcam, but I am reaching up, lengthening my spine. And then as you exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, this time come to a flat back. That might look like pressing your hands into your shins or your thighs and bringing your back parallel to the ground. Think of elongating your spine, reaching the crown of your head away from your hips toward the front of the room. And then exhale, fold over completely. Plant your hands on the ground and then step back to the tabletop where we were just a minute ago. Palms and knees on the ground. Take a deep breath in for cow and a deep breath out for cow. Inhale for cow. Exhale, meet me back in downward facing dog. So what we just did was a sort of slow meditative variation on Sun Salutation A. And if you're more experienced with a Vinyasa flow type of class and you're looking for something a little bit more energetic and active, feel free to do the standard Sun Salutation A that you know as we move through this again. Otherwise, stick with me. I'll be cueing a little bit of a more mellow Friday Unwind vibe, the variations we were just doing. So again, here we are in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and stay here for the exhale. Inhale one more time in your down dog. And then exhale, walk your feet up toward your hands and fold over. Inhale, come to a halfway lift, a flat back. And exhale, fold over completely. Inhale, arms sweep up all the way overhead and reach. And exhale, fold over completely. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, plant your hands on the ground and step back to tabletop. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. One more inhale, cow. And this time tuck toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. You're here for 3 breaths. Take them at your own pace. Option to pedal it out. Take whatever motion feels good in your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, look up between your hands, and exhale, walk your way to the top of the mat. Fold over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up, extended mountain pose. Reach your arms high overhead for a big stretch. And then exhale, fold over. Release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms. You know it. Step back to tabletop. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. This time, tuck toes under. Exhale, straight back to downward facing dog. All right, we're going to take it up a notch just for a moment, and then I promise we're going to come back to our very gentle, stretchy vibe here. But if you're sticking with me, here we are in downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg up and back. And then exhale, step your right foot through between your palms to a runner's lunge. From here, bring your left knee down to the ground and sweep your arms up overhead. So we're in a knee down crescent lunge. Take another deep breath in, grow a little taller, maybe a baby back bend here. And then as you exhale, bring your arms into a goalpost shape, half angel wings, some call it, and start to squeeze your shoulder blades together behind your back to lift your chest toward the ceiling. Stay here as you take another deep breath in, finding that opening through your chest, and hold it for the exhale. Inhale, reach both arms up, grow tall. And exhale, this time drop just your right hand down by your right side, reaching that hand toward the floor. And sweep your left arm up and over to find a stretch through your left hip flexor, the front of your left hip. Stay here, squeeze your left glute to press your hips a little farther forward, deepening that stretch. And then on your next inhale, sweep both arms up to meet. And exhale, plant your palms on the ground. Lift that left knee up. And then we're going to take a big motion here and open all the way up into Warrior Two. So spin your left heel down to the ground and sweep your left arm up and lift your right arm to meet it in Warrior Two. So take a moment to set up your feet here. This is a really strong shape. You want your left foot to be parallel to the back edge of your mat and your right foot to be perpendicular to it. So if your feet were connected, they would be making a T. Notice where your arms are, and if they're sagging, try to bring them up a little bit. And then check in with your shoulders. If they're squeezing or shrugging up, Try to encourage them to relax. Take a deep breath in and reverse your warrior. Plant your left hand on your hip and reach up, 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 and then back for a stretch through the right side of your body. And then exhale, we're going to come right back down to the floor, to the runner's lunge. Take a deep breath in here in runner's lunge, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, lower that left knee down, bring the right knee to meet it. We're back in tabletop. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Tuck your toes under. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Same thing, second side. Inhale, sweep your left leg up and back. And exhale, step it between your palms, come into that runner's lunge. Take a deep breath in, lengthen here. And then exhale, lower your right knee down to the ground. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead, knee down, crescent lunge. And stay here as you exhale. Another deep breath in, grows you a little taller, maybe a baby back bend. And exhale, come into half angel wings. Pull those shoulder blades together. Feel your heart reaching toward the ceiling. On your next inhale, sweep both arms up, grow tall. And then exhale, drop your left hand to your left side and sweep that right arm up and over to the left, finding that stretch through the front and side of your right hip and hip flexor. As you inhale, think of squeezing that right glute to press your hips forward. As you exhale, think of deepening ever so slightly that stretch to the left. Inhale, back up to center, sweep both arms up. And exhale, plant your hands on the ground and come into runner's lunge. Your next breath in takes you up and open into your warrior two on the second side. I'm going to switch the placement of my feet here so that I can face you. Again, take a moment to get really strong and steady in this shape. Your right foot parallel to the back of your mat. Your left foot perpendicular. Notice if your left knee is winging in toward the front. And then see if you can nudge your left knee out just a little bit so it's tracking towards your left pinky toe. Stay here for a moment. And then on your next inhale, plant your right hand on your hip. Sweep your left arm up and back to reverse your warrior. Take one more deep breath in here. And then exhale, big windmill motion. Plant both hands on the ground and come back to your runner's lunge. Take a deep breath in, lengthen your spine. And exhale, bring your right knee down and your left knee to meet it in tabletop. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale this time. Separate your knees wide. Send your hips back. And we meet in a child's pose. Bring your forehead to the ground. Feel your arms reaching out in front of you. You might just give into the floor. Relax here fully. Or to stretch it out a tiny bit more on your next inhale, reach your fingertips as far away from you as possible, growing as long as you can. And then exhale, release, and just relax everything into the ground. Stay here for 5 breaths, nice and slow. Count them at your own pace. when you're ready, and by the way, it's okay if you're not ready, stay in child's pose as long as you like. We'll meet back in tabletop. All right. We're gonna wind down with some stretchy shapes here. So in tabletop, bring your right fingertips to frame your right ear and take a deep breath in and open up your chest to the right, reaching your right elbow up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, curl that right elbow underneath your chest, reaching through under your left armpit to feel a stretch across your upper back. Repeat that. Inhale, open up to the right, reach your right elbow high. And exhale, curl it under. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, curl it under. This time, inhale, reach up high and extend your arms so your fingertips are reaching for the ceiling. Big stretch. And then exhale, thread the needle. Shoot your right arm, palm face up, underneath your left. Bring your right shoulder and right ear to the ground. You might keep your left hand planted on the ground next to your face, or you might intensify it by reaching your left arm up toward the ceiling, or even bending your left elbow and bringing it behind your back for a half bind. Wherever you're taking this threaded needle, tap into your breath. A deep breath in and a long breath out. On your next inhale, bring your left hand back to the ground under your left shoulder if you moved it. And exhale, press up and come back to tabletop. Second side. Bring your left fingertips to frame your left ear. Take a deep breath in and open up to the left. Reach your left elbow high. Exhale, curl it under. Inhale, reach, grow tall. Exhale, curl, stretch across that back. Inhale, lift, elbow comes up high. Exhale, curl it under. This time, inhale, reach those fingertips all the way up toward the ceiling. And exhale, thread the needle. Send your left arm under. Bring your left cheek, your left shoulder, your left ear to the ground. The exact body part that touches the ground might be different for different bodies. That is great. And then take your version here. It might be the same as the first side, or it might look completely different. That's also great. Our bodies are not symmetrical. So if before you reached your right arm into the air or bound it behind your back, this time it might feel good to just keep that right arm planted on the ground. We're here for 3 breaths. On your next inhale, root down through your right palm, under your right shoulder, and exhale, press back up into tabletop. All right, press your hips back, Swing your legs out in front of you. It's time to take it down to the ground, to our backs. Hug both knees into your chest and give them a big squeeze. You might rock gently side to side to create a little massage of your low back against the floor. Maybe you take it into some little circles. And you can stay right here, or you might reach through and grab onto the outside edge of your feet, the inside edge, or behind your knees, your hamstrings, for happy baby. Give a gentle tug down to flatten your low back against the ground. And then again, just bring a gentle rocking motion into the shape, finding that massage for your low back and outer hips. Take another deep breath in here, and then exhale, release your feet, and let them come to resting on the ground, your knees pointing at the ceiling. Send your left leg out long away from you, and hug your right knee into your chest. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, use your left hand to guide your right knee across your body for a supine spinal twist. And send your right arm out to the right, nice and long. Bring your gaze toward your right fingertips as you press both shoulder blades into the ground. You might feel a big stretch through your outer right hip and glute, or you might feel sensation elsewhere in your body. And as long as it feels like a good stretch, that is great. On your next inhale, guide that right knee back to center and hug it in. And then exhale, send your right leg long to meet your left. Inhale, hug your left knee into your chest, give it a big squeeze. And exhale, use your right hand to guide your left knee across your body. And then reach that left arm back, long out to the left. Turn your gaze to your left fingers and relax into the ground. A supine twist on the second side. Deep breath in and a slow breath out. Feeling the ground supporting you. Feeling that opening through your body. On your next inhale, guide your left knee back up to center. Hug it into your chest, one more big squeeze. And exhale, release, send it long alongside your right leg. Take a deep breath in and reach your arms up overhead and behind you on the floor for a big good morning stretch. Feel your fingertips and your toes reaching as far away from each other as possible. Imagine a stretch through the entire line of your body. Take one more deep breath in, reaching away. And then exhale, just let everything flop into the floor. Again, just like that, good morning stretch. Engage your muscles, squeeze, reach everything away. And exhale, release everything into the floor. Hug your knees into your chest one more time. Give them a big squeeze. And take this opportunity to take any last shapes here, any last wiggles that you need to get out, stretches that might feel nice for your body. Maybe it's a little bit more rocking and rolling, massaging your low back. Maybe it's another moment of happy baby. And then when you're ready, we'll set up for Shavasana, the final resting shape. Hug those knees in one more time. Give them a big squeeze. And as you exhale, come into Shavasana. Send your legs out long. Bring your hands somewhere comfortable on the floor or on your body. Take one more big breath in. Fill your belly up. And then exhale. Let it out completely. Shavasana. You are always welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. If you're ready to come out of it, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, just bringing some slight motion back into your body. You might start to circle your wrists, your ankles, or flutter your arms and legs at the knees and elbows. And then slowly and with care, however you'd like to get there, start to make your way back up to a seated position. Just like where we began. Take a deep breath in, sweep both arms up high, grow tall, and exhale. Bring your hands to meet at your chest. Thank you so much for joining me and Hands to Heart Center in the Boston Public Library for Friday Unwind. I apologize again for the tech issues at the beginning and the resulting shortened yoga practice, but thank you so much for sticking with me and bearing it out. And hopefully I will see you again. on the digital yoga practice airwaves. If you have any feedback for me, feel free to leave it in the chat. And otherwise, have a wonderful Friday evening and start to your afternoon. If you're in Boston, stay warm and dry with the snow, and have a great weekend. Take care.